I mean, it is so good. Hi everybody, welcome back to Marie's Kitchen. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're making focaccia. Focaccia is a classic Italian flatbread known for its golden crispy edges and soft airy interior. It's versatile enough to serve on its own alongside a meal, or you can use it as a base for sandwiches and other toppings. And the really great news is that it's easy to make, so if you're new to bread making, this is a great one to try. And as always, I'll walk you through step by step. I can't wait to share it with you. Let's get started. Okay, to start, let's mix up our dry ingredients. We have 3.5 cups bread flour, weighs about 480 grams if you're using a scale. And we are using bread flour because it has a higher protein content, which in turn gives your bread more structure and then will do a better job of trapping the gas bubbles that the yeast produces, which gives you a higher rise and in turn a lighter, airier crumb in the bread. To that, we'll add 1 packet of instant or rapid rise yeast. Rapid rise yeast just has finer granules of yeast, so they activate faster and give a quicker rise. That's really the only difference between this and active dry yeast. So I do like to use the instant yeast because I'm always in a hurry. Okay, now we'll give that a quick stir. Next, we're gonna add salt. And salt, if you add it directly on top of the yeast, it can kill some of the yeast. So I prefer to mix up the yeast with the flour before adding the salt. So the salt is 2 teaspoons salt. Then we'll mix that up. And now we're on to the wet ingredients. For the liquid, we're gonna need 1 2/3 cup warm water. And I'm gonna use a scale for this. You can measure liquid ingredients just as well as dry. It is the OXO brand scale. If you'd like a link, I'll put it in the description box below. So we'll just add this in. You want it between about 105 and 115 degrees. Anything hotter has a chance of killing the yeast. This is great. It's 114 degrees, which is just about right. Now to the warm water, we're gonna add 2.5 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. So then we'll take our dry ingredients here, and we're just gonna add our wet ingredients right to it. Now, because we are using such a wet dough, and you'll see in a minute, it is very wet. Doesn't look like your traditional sandwich bread. Because we're using such a wet dough, you can't knead the dough. Instead of kneading, what we're gonna do is called stretch and fold. And it's just a way of building layers into your bread, layers of gluten, more structure into your bread. So then that structure can capture the gas coming out of the yeast and give you a nice, really big rise in your dough, which is really what you want for focaccia. You want it soft and chewy, but then crispy on the bottom. So this technique gives you that. We're gonna cover this. Let me grab a clean dish towel and we'll cover that. We'll cover this with a clean dish towel, set it aside in a warm spot, then we'll come back and I'll show you how to do the stretch and fold. So it's been 20 minutes, we're ready to do the stretch and fold, the first one. And speaking of timers and keeping time, I did make this and I think I'll include it with the recipe. It's a focaccia timeline. I get so confused about what time I need to be where for this recipe. And if I need to like run an errand or something, I just want to make sure I have enough time. So you can kind of map out where you need to be. And I'll put this with the recipe on my website, mariesaba.com. You can print it out with the recipe. And if you want to use it, if it's helpful, feel free. Now, to do this stretch and fold, the dough is sticky. So we have a little bowl of water here. We can just wet our hands in that. And all we're going to do is just pull up one side of the dough and fold it over. Pull up one side of the dough and fold it over. See, it's starting to get tighter now already because that gluten is activating and it's making it tighter. And that's okay, that's exactly what you want. That's why what we're gonna do after this is let it rest again for 20 minutes so it relaxes again, and then you can do some more stretches and folds. By the way, I should do some stretches and folds. I should do some stretching. So one thing I don't do enough of. I get my exercise in, but then I'm not stretching really. We do what we can. That's what my mother-in-law always says. We do what we can. And I so love that, because it really is just says, you know, we're doing the best we can. That's all we can do. Do maybe one more, stretch and fold, and then I like to give this a turn. So just flip it over like that, and then that's done. And then we'll pop our dish towel back on. 20 more minutes. I'll see you back here. You can also go through and check off what you've done so you don't forget. That's my problem. Okay, we did one stretch and fold. That's it. Okay. Okay, see you in 20. Okay, there's the timer, ready for our next stretch and fold. And this is looking really pretty already. It's getting puffier, it's getting a little smoother. So we're doing good work here. I'm gonna wet my hands a little bit. And stretch. Nice good stretch there. Fold. Stretch. Now you definitely don't want to add any flour at this point. Even if it does feel sticky, just keep wetting your hands and working with it as best you can. Adding flour is going to make a much denser dough. Now I'm going to flip it like this. Flip that over. It wasn't that pretty. And we'll add this on top. All right, we're gonna let this rest again for 20 minutes. I'm gonna check off my second stretch and fold, and I'll be back in 20 minutes for the third one, and then we're on to letting it rise. And we're back. There goes Gracie. That's our African gray parrot. She just likes to chatter as we're cooking in here. So it's always fun to have her entertainment. Y'all love her. Now for the last stretch and fold. Same thing as before. So I can get maybe a little different view here, closer up. How's that? Now y'all can see this one close up. Okay, we're just wet our hands a little bit. And just gonna pull this up. Ooh, look at that. And fold. My mom always used to give warm, fresh bread as a gift. She was a real estate agent, and whenever she would, sell a house, she would bring over a bottle of wine, a loaf of warm, fresh bread, and some salt. I'll have to look up exactly why they did that combination, but it's just a really lovely housewarming gift. There's something to giving salt when you get a new house. I can't remember what it was. I'll have to ask my dad. Okay, now I'm gonna flip this over. I'm gonna check off my third stretch and fold. Did that. So I'm not confused at all. I know what I need to do next. And that is the first long rise. What we're gonna do is just cover this with a kitchen towel again, or you can use plastic wrap, that works as well. And we're gonna let it sit for anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes. All right, I'm gonna set this aside. Okay, it's been about 60 minutes, so about an hour, and I checked my dough and it is looking very, very risen. It's very puffy. It is jiggly when we shake it, which is what we want. So I don't really want it going any higher. I don't want to overproof this and affect the flavor or the structure of the bread. I'm gonna set this aside. And we have our pan here. This is the 9x13 pan, and this is my new favorite line of pans. It's by OXO brand, and if you've been watching my shows, you've seen me use the bread pan several times. I have the muffin pan now, the cake pan, and I had to get the 9x13 pan when I decided we were making focaccia, because I wanted something that would release really easily, which this does. This is a ceramic coated pan, so it has the nonstick qualities without any of the bad chemicals. So it's ceramic coated, but it's metal, so it's very light and easy to use. Highly recommend it. I'll put a link in the description box below if you're interested in checking it out. In the bottom of the pan, we're gonna drizzle in a couple tablespoons of oil. Take our dough here and just plop it out over there onto our pan. And go on now. Got a little sticky there. Okay, there we go. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Okay, now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil on my hands, and again, just to prevent sticking, and we're just gonna kind of press this out a little bit. Press it towards the corners. You don't wanna stretch it, but just kind of press it out that direction. You don't wanna force it, is what I'm saying. You will stretch it a little bit, but you don't wanna force it. You don't wanna tear it. You just wanna be delicate with it because a lot's gone on here and it's looking great. Okay, now we're gonna let this rise for about 30 to 45 minutes, the second rise. And you can use a lightly greased saran wrap and put that over it. The kitchen towel doesn't really work, it always just sinks right in. So another option though is to use a baking pan and just invert that on top. And so I'm gonna set this aside and we'll let this rise for about 30 to 45 minutes. And then it's time to do the final 2 touches and then it goes in the oven. All right, I'll see you then. All right, we're back. It's been about 35, 40 minutes. So the second rise is done. Check that off my list. Now I've preheated the oven to 425 degrees or 220 degrees Celsius. And we're just letting that get nice and hot. Now let's take a look at our dough here. It looks wonderful. It really looks so beautiful. Look at that. Now before we bake, we do want to make the little dimples that are trademarked to focaccia. So I'm just gonna drizzle some oil here on the bread, and then a little on our fingers is good so that it doesn't get sticky. Just press your fingers in like this. Oh, it feels really cool. My daughter used to make slime all the time. She had a phase where she was always making slime, and it kind of feels like this. It feels really fun. All right, into the oven, 20 to 25 minutes. Get a good close-up of that. Look at that. Oh. All right, I think the bread is almost ready, and it smells so good in here. I can't wait for you to try this one. It's so good. Okay. Wow, so beautiful. Look at this bread. Oh my gosh. It's beautiful and it smells incredible. So one thing we want to do pretty quickly is take the bread out of the pan. So when a bread just sits in this hot container like this, it's going to start to get kind of soggy. So you want to keep that nice crisp crust. So let's gently take this out. The crevices, ooh, look at the bottom of that. Oh my goodness, look how beautiful that is. So nice and crispy. You can see that olive oil glistening on there. Okay, now we have it on a wire rack, so that we'll let that cool for about 15 minutes, then cut a slice. I can't wait to taste it. Yum. And I really want that edge piece with all those crispy corners. Look at that. Squishy. So it's got that pillowy, airy interior with that nice crisp crust. I mean, it is so good. Great flavor, wonderful texture. That crispy, yum. If you like this video, be sure to leave me a comment below. Let me know if you think you might try this. And then for this recipe, check the description box below. I'll also include the link to the pan, the OXO brand ceramic coated pan that I use. And then in a couple weeks, a week or two probably, I'll have the recipe on my website, so you can go there and print it out. And then if you have any other questions, leave those below too. I would love to hear from you. My goal is to give you some really easy recipes that turn out great every time, so you can build some confidence in the kitchen and feel really inspired to share good food with people that you love. From my kitchen to yours. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Hey, Cocoa Puff. What you doing, girl? What you doing over there? Here she comes. There she is. There's Coco. Who's a good girl? Okay, who's a good girl? Cocoa Puff. Yes, she's a good girl. She's a good girl. Yes. You're getting a little shaggy, girl. Huh? You're a good girl.